What's up, guys? It's me, Pez Flips, and this is a video that I was wanting to do a while ago, and I've just never really gotten to it. I was on more of a vacation, kind of going into a log cabin type of camping situation, so it wasn't really a place where I was going to be recording videos. But nonetheless, here I am. And I wanted to talk to you guys about how to make your flips in real life look like what I'm flipping right now. Now, the reason that this looks the way that it looks right now is because I am flipping in 48 FPS with a shutter speed of 1000. Now, shutter speed is what determines how blurry something is or how sharp it is. So like, let's turn it down. So you see the brightness goes up, and you see how like now it's like way more, I guess blurry is the word. But you know, you lose kind of a crispness. I personally like the look of a high shutter speed. It looks a bit, like I said, crispier, sharper. I just think it makes the flips look cooler. So we go back up to that 1000 mark. I mean, even 500 is not too bad, but going to the 1000, you can see that it looks really crispy. And then if I change the, I can't change the FPS in a mid recording, but if I did, you would be able to see a bit more motion. I think 30 is a little too, like you're not seeing enough, so it's like you're kind of guessing what the person's doing. And then 60 is fine. I think for tutorials, 60 is good because you can really see what's going on. But 48 is obviously like that perfect balance between like you're seeing some motion, but you're not seeing all of it. So that is where I stand. Now, this is going to be a flashing warning, epilepsy warning for those of you who are photosensitive, because I'm going to show you something and it's going to look really, really weird on camera. So I might as well just get into it. This is how, I'm just going to look at it first and it'll make sense. So those lights, see how that's going crazy? See how it's like flashing like that? Well, to me, that looks like this, kind of. Not even really, it's like a lot smoother than that. This is if I lower the shutter speed so you can see it's like really fluid. But like if I go back up to, you can see it gets kind of crazy when you go up to like the higher shutter speeds. And that's because it's an LED light. Now, what does an LED light have to do with making your flips look, you know, like this in real life? Well, it's basically like a strobe effect. Now, this is a really weird and I would say hard thing to figure out. And that's because it depends on how crappy your LED lights are. So those LED lights, the reason that they're flashing is actually because LED lights are unique compared to like old traditional like filament lights, because filament lights, you know, the way that light is being produced is you're heating up an element, and that element is what's creating that light. You know, it's giving off the energy as photo energy, I guess, whatever, in terms of like conservation of mass or whatever. So the difference with LED lights is that as soon as you light them on, like as soon as you put electrical current through an LED, it instantaneously brightens, you know, it engages, if you will. And with that, you have consequences of having something that's instantaneously turning on and off. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, the power that comes through your house, like through your outlets, it's not like a consistent power. It's basically doing that the whole time. It's flashing. It's sending it like at a specific hertz. So like every second, it's sending so many pulses of electricity through your outlets. So, you know, you might be wondering, well, my LED lights don't do that. Like, it doesn't give me the strobe effect. And, you know, if you're like next to like an old TV or something, you might notice the same thing. This is because some LED lights have capacitors in them. At least I think that's the thing. And that basically makes it so that as an electric charge enters through the capacitor, it turns it into a steady stream of electricity instead of it being something like that where it's constantly pulsing. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, how the heck do I get LEDs like that in the first place. Now that's the weird part. It's price. You kind of have to buy the crappy ones. I got these actually from my mom. It's just something we were keeping in the attic, and she's like, well, do you want some Christmas trees for your, like, Christmas lights for your apartment? I was like, sure. And then I plugged them in and I realized that it had that effect, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I've had other lights in the past that have like a similar effect, but the LEDs are like very pronounced. And that brings me to the first problem. You don't really, LED manufacturers, they don't want this to happen, right? You can't really tell to the naked eye. Like, if I'm looking at it, it doesn't really look like it's flashing or anything like that, because our eyes can only see at a certain, I guess, for gamer brain words, you know, I can only see, someone was calling me, sorry. So I can only see at like a certain FPS, right? So the hertz rate of your wall, like the power from your wall, is faster than really what our eyes can see. Now, it's like capacitors become a lot cheaper of a thing to implement in LEDs, and LEDs are like more of an accessible lighting solution. So they're really cheap already, and most of them have accounted for this. And the reason for it to be like commercially accounted for is because LED lights, if they have this like strobe effect is what they call it, it can cause headaches. Now for me, I have to be like, that thing has to be on for a few hours before I start getting any sort of headache. But it even kind of depends on those days. But it's something to be aware of, that if you're in like a lighting situation where that's like your only light, right? You're in like your flipping corner, which is basically what that is over there. I don't really want to show it too much because I want to make you guys go, you know, have a seizure. But it can give you a headache, and it's just hard to find because no one is going to be selling their LEDs with the marketed thing of like, hey, we have a cheap product. Because for the traditional consumer, they don't really want that. You know, we're just in this little niche of being balisong flippers, and that's what we want. But you know, anyways, when it comes to finding them, you kind of have to just buy some and then hope that they have it. And then if you have a return policy at wherever you're shopping at, just return them and say like, oh, like something, they didn't really work for me, or I didn't like the way they looked. Like probably Walmart or something like that, like a large commercial institution. I mean, heck, you could buy them off of Amazon. And maybe eventually I'll find a product and give you guys a link for sure, but I haven't done that yet just because I already have my lights as is. I have a picture of the ones that I have, but they're discontinued, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, if you get these lights, you too can have flipping that looks like this in real life. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's a dangerous thing to do, because then you get back out and you start flipping like this. Yes, it's overexposed, whatever, and it just looks a little lackluster, you know? You always see those clips in real life or in like Instagram, whatever, and you're like, dang man, I want to be like that. And half the time it's like, I can look like really sloppy. Like, you lose some of the magic of Pez flips when you see it like this, because when you go back to 1,000, you're like, holy cow, this guy's ripping, you know, he's goated, as the kids would say. But in reality, a little bit of it is just camera magic. So yeah, if you guys want to have your flips look like this in real life, I think this is a really interesting topic. If you know of a specific brand of LED lights, or you have like a product link or something, I mean, I don't really want to be like sharing links a ton in my comment section, but I trust you guys to be faithful. Click with caution. Actually, you know what? No, just don't add a link. Just give us the name of the product if you know that it does the strobe effect, and we'll take it from there. Amazon would be probably like the best place because it just would work for everyone. But yeah, that sums it up for today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Let's try to hit that scissor. Yeah, guys, I've been practicing it, no big deal. First try. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.